Dear guys, hello everyone. I'm very glad to see you again on my channel. I'm still in Zanzibar, Africa, enjoying my workation, and I apologize for the background noise because I'm currently sitting in a restaurant and recording this video because I got the impulse. And today will be a somewhat abstract video. It will be basic. This is my first video about how everything is arranged, and today we will talk about how everything is arranged. Yes, and today I will be talking about the structure of the universe. More precisely, presenting my point of view on this aspect, what the universe is, how it is structured, why are they different, why do I even want to talk about this, how can I even know this? Probably it's all about the practices. What I saw during meditation, for years I have been practicing completely different schools, and I saw a lot during the UAZKI ceremony about this. I think there should be a separate one. I saw a lot during hypnotherapy sessions of self-immersion. At the present moment, you begin to understand and see things very clearly when you consistently practice even just meditation. In today's video, it's probably a compilation of experiences that I have gained over the last 15 years of my life and the books I have read on the subject. I am very fascinated by quantum physics, which strongly intersects with what I will be discussing. Again, this is my point of view. You, Valeria, may agree or disagree with it. Of course, please, I would be delighted to see your comments. That's essentially why we are here. There are many versions explaining this topic. If you open YouTube, you'll see a bunch of videos, but since I'm talking here about stepping out of all concepts, I will now speak as abstractly as possible. Please forgive me for this, but unfortunately, or fortunately, I simply don't see it any other way. As we already know, parts of the great consciousness, the unified consciousness, manifest themselves in a vast number of forms. Time, space, people, animals, plants, sound waves, thoughts, air. This is everything that can and cannot be imagined. An infinite number of scenarios. Absolute multivariance is indeed precisely this unified consciousness of which a part, one of the forms of embodiment of which we are, as humans, merely beings, living in this conditional world. And we assume that it was not always this way. For me, there are two conditional modes of God. The first mode is nothing, and the second mode is everything. All people, like all people, organizations, institutions that explain the world, its structure on them. These two modes, everything and nothing, explain from the perspective of different theories. Initially, there was a conditional nothing. Then there was a conditional Big Bang, and it expanded. The multivariance of worlds, universes, and so on. For example, as it is said in the Bible, in the beginning was the Word. The Word created the concept of limitation. Limitations gave rise to duality. Duality expanded the worlds. That is, there is some kind of conditional transition point. I see that there is a mode of God called nothing. And here we kind of understand that nothing is not emptiness. Nothing is not darkness. Nothing is nothing. That is, as usual, people imagine nothing as something black, probably empty. No, it is nothing. This is what breaks our mind, but which believes that there must be something to hold on to. Why is this incomprehensible, beyond understanding, absolutely to the mind? Because the mind is born in the second phase, in the phase of duality. It lives in the box of duality. Therefore, what is beyond duality, beyond the Big Bang, beyond the word, beyond the concept, is absolutely incomprehensible to it, and it will never be understood here. You probably just need to play the game. Engage abstract thinking and pretend that we understand it? Yes, because otherwise it's impossible. And at first there was a conditional nothing, an absolute, unrealized, infinite potential, an unrealized potential of energy, where neither time nor spaces existed. If there was neither time nor space, the concepts of beginning and end and the concept of meaning also don't exist there, because there are no dualities. Meaning in the phase of nothingness, experience, is not actually lived because there is no experience there. There is absolutely nothing. In the second phase, there are experiences that can be infinitely lived in an infinite number of forms. The whole point of the game lies in this. Duality is the second mode of God, which is called everything. That is, if we call the first one conditional singularity, we call the second one conditional duality. Duality is a choice between two positives, and this is precisely where an infinite number of worlds, times, spaces, and dimensions were born. You know, there is a movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once. It precisely illustrates one of the theories, one of the ways people see it, that there is an infinite number of worlds simultaneously. In one of the worlds, I can be a stone. In another, I can be Nastya. In a third, I can be Nastya with green hair. In a third. In the fourth, I might be sitting exactly the same way, recording a video, but not as I am sitting now, but half a millimeter to the right. Now imagine how many people live on the planet Earth, how many can live, how many potentially possible variations of events can exist in parallel, simultaneously manifesting worlds. That is, it's an infinite number of variations multiplied by an infinite number of scenarios multiplied by an infinite number of worlds. This is probably what can be characterized by the word everything. And here our mind also breaks down because it is born, as I said, in duality, and the concept of infinity is not incomprehensible. But once again, we will engage our abstract thinking, try to imagine it's, and so to speak, as I already mentioned, if we step out of all concepts, we have the mode of God, nothing, and the mode of God, everything. And around this, there exist all sorts of theories. The Big Bang theory, Friedman's expansion theory, string theory, multiverse theories, the theory of relativity, and many, many others. At the same time, relying on certain physical laws that operate in various limited environments. Simply because this is an approach through the mind, my favorite movie, which is called Interstellar. Please watch it. It is a film of incredible beauty, incredible wisdom, and incredible emotions. If anyone hasn't seen it, please sit down and watch it today. And believe me, it will be incredible. A great investment of your time. Interstellar shows the most multifaceted, I won't spoil it, very briefly. An astronaut ended up inside a black hole where time and space are distorted. This is how he saw it. There is one of the ways people explain it, yes. But again, it's all interpretation, it's all concepts. If you but you step out of these concepts, you can say that everything exists. You can say that nothing exists. And a transition happened between them to the question, and why did this transition happen at all? And why was it needed? There is no answer to this question because it is a question of the mind. In general, all existing questions are questions of the mind. You see, there can only be one answer here. It's simply a form of being, a form of living, of experience. It's very difficult for the mind to understand this. As I already said, meaning is a concept born in duality, and the notions of beginning and end, the notions of meaning do not exist. Therefore, the answer to why this transition occurred is beyond the mind's grasp. And here, of course, begins the hellish resistance. The mind, of course, will protest, will look, search for some research, confirmations, cling to some facts. But there's no answer, right? And what are you going to do about it? Interesting, isn't it? Now, how can this be applied in life? To put it as simply as possible, there exists a beam of attention. And this beam of attention is the beam of attention of the unified consciousness through which you observe. For this consciousness, it makes no difference in which scenario you live. That is, you can change these scenarios if you find it interesting. What can be done? You can direct attention to different scenarios of the same consciousness. Just like with a flashlight, you know, in a dark room, when you move the flashlight around, you reveal certain objects in that room. Imagine all these scenarios as a dark room, and your beam of attention is the flashlight that moves around in this dark room. People talk about moving between branches of reality. In fact, there are no branches of reality. We simply call them branches for ease of understanding. In reality, it is all an inseparable, long, vibrating entity with endless variations of energy embodiment. Something that we ourselves are as well. Another paradox that cannot be explained to the mind. It seems to you that you are moving this flashlight as a person, but you are not moving anything. It moves by itself. Everything that is happening now is happening on its own. Because you are not a single person, you are not a person at all. You are everything simultaneously. You are not making any choices as a personality, not at all. The choice is made by itself. It just seems to you that you are making it because you are an infinitely small part of this infinitely vast consciousness that makes the choice for you. Gives you the illusion of choice. In general, the complexity of this structure, if it can even be called a structure, is infinitely incomprehensible, complex, I would say, but at the same time incredibly simple. I hope you understand what I'm talking about, at least a little bit understand what I'm saying and what I'm trying to convey, and that you found it interesting to listen to my stream. I am very happy with absolutely any comments, very happy with your engagement, very happy. I will be happy to chat with you on Telegram because now I have a Telegram channel and there I answer questions. That is, I try to be as close to you as possible. If you have any questions that you would like to get answers to, please join the channel. I will be there for you. Thank you once again immensely and see you in the next video.